Clash of the Classics.
Hey everyone, welcome to Clash of the Classics. This week's battle is brought to you by the largest automatic transmission network in the world. They are the Automatic Transmission Rebuilders Association, or the ATRA. Chris, want to get right into it now. This is going to be a lot of fun. Today it's all about the 1961 Chevy Impala Ss 409 battling the 1961 Pontiac Ventura 389. Now, for those people who may be brand new, maybe you're just joining us every week, you're going to find that we do this kind of thing. Once in a while, we'll take only one vehicle. Most of the time, we pit two classic models from the same era or from the same model year. We chop it up, see what car we like better. We take a look at exterior stuff. We talk about engine, transmission, interior, some of the ride quality, drivability type stuff. And then at the end of the day, we talk about which car that we like best. This is going to be some fun today because, again, 1961, pretty near and dear to me. It was the year before I was born, so it's definitely within my era. But these two cars, this Impala Ss 409 and this Pontiac Ventura 389, definitely icons in the classic car world. Would you agree?
Oh, most definitely. And fun fact, we do often bring up music and guitar-related things. For any guitar players, 1961 was the first year for the SG, although it was still called the Les Paul.
I like the SG, the feel of the guitar, even though it seems like it's much lighter. Have you noticed that it doesn't weigh? It seems like maybe it does, but when you have it around your neck, it doesn't seem like it weighs even a fraction of what the Les Paul
I think it's
does.
like 3 pounds lighter.
But it feels like it's 30 pounds lighter.
Yeah.
but you know, the what do you call it? The Les Paul is probably more recognizable to people.
Well, until you consider Angus Young.
Yeah, AC/DC, yeah. Because he made the Les Paul with the horns. That was the whole thing. And then the double neck, the EDS 1275.
Jimmy Page.
Yeah, that
Alex
was...
Lifeson. A lot of them.
A lot of other people. But that was the whole double neck with the double horn type thing. Pretty cool guitar, though. So let's jump out with the first car. It's the 1961 Chevrolet Impala Ss 409. We talked about it a moment ago. This car really is interesting, and I'm glad that we got a chance to launch out this week with this car. Reason why I'm saying that is here once again, we're going to talk about now, in this case, how rarity or how a car being rare does definitely or certainly add to its value. But, you know, Chevy brought some real power to the people back in 61, and they did it with this 61 Ss Impala. This car came out with two engine options originally, and we're going to talk about the 409 today, obviously, but the other one was the 348 for some of you folks out there that may have had one. I like the car, had a cool look for 61, very contemporary. One thing I liked about this car is obviously the engine in it. This big block motor, a lot of people thought it was a small block 400 type block. It's not. It was a big block 409, kicking out right at about 348 horsepower. But the thing that was cool is Chevrolet built 491,000 Impalas in 1961. 453 of them had the SS badging, which I think at the time was like $300, I think, additional $300 for the SS package. And then of those 453, only 142 of them were the 409s. Today, and I'm just going to head straight to value. Today, this car was originally, I think, just under $3,000.
Yeah, about $2,900, right?
$2,900. Today, this thing's worth right at $100,000, which that even seems...
Now, is that clean, pristine, lean, mean, ready to go?
It's a number 2 car.
Okay.
So it's not necessarily concourse.
So what would I be paying for like a real rust-eaten, junky barnyard one that I wanted to restore myself?
That would be one would be between you and the seller, but probably somewhere in the $30,000 to $50,000 range.
It's an expensive hunk of metal.
Yes, it is. But the thing is, the truth of it is, or the reason why, is because only so few of them were actually built with numbers matching engine, transmission, and with the manual trans, which was a Muncie, and then the big block 409, which again had that 1.4-barrel carburetor on it. This thing was kicking out right at about 360 horsepower. 0 to 60 in 7.8 seconds. Huge 4-barrel carburetor. Thing weighed 3,700 pounds, had about 120 inch, just under 120 inch wheelbase. So it was short enough and it was nimble enough. And let's talk a little bit about suspension for 1961. A lot of the cars back in those days didn't handle real well. Chevy did a great job with this car, and I'm not sure if we can find any images of the suspension system. But what I really liked is that each corner was sprung, and it was sprung very well. Had a real nimble kind of a, I guess, tense and attack kind of feel for those days. The steering wheel had quite a bit of organic feel in it. It wasn't like a lot of the other cars from this time period. Really handled well. The weight distribution across the platform was as good as any car for the late 60s. For the early 60s, late 50s, early 60s. This car really fit well for that time period.
I have to say, we're giving out some impressive stats here. But the honest truth is, I'm not really into this body style.
Really, because I like it. I like it.
Now, to be fair, if we were in 1961 or 1962, I may have a different opinion. The unfortunate truth is that we are in 2018, and when I think of the word Impala, especially the classic ones, the first, we just mentioned that we're AC/DC fans, and one of the things that AC/DC fans hate more than anything is when you have the 61, 62, 64 Impala with the windows down and the bass just bumping to where the license plate's going to fall off. I remember when I was a teenager, that used to wake me up if you can hear that from your bedroom, you kind of grow up just like, I hate this car, So I guess I have a mental block. If we were in 62, I'd probably have a different opinion on the car, but I just can't get past that.
I understand. But the car is an instant legend. The interior or the dashboard, the instrument panel layout was largely borrowed from the Corvette as far as the overall appearance of it. Pretty cool car, but I understand what you're getting at. Later on, this thing would get dual quads and would roll up to about 425 horsepower. 1965 was the last year that Chevrolet used that 409 engine. But aside from the aesthetics, the overall performance for 1961, pretty cutting edge stuff.
Oh yeah, no argument there. No argument there. I guess my issue is mainly just kind of what it stands for in modern society.
I get you. Hey, I'm right there with you. I understand. A lot of folks have done some weird stuff with the car, but if you kept it just stock, and hopefully, right now as we're having our conversation, our viewers will be able to see what the car looked like in 1961. Pretty cool look. And again, put yourself back in 1961, definitely was a different vibe, different feel. Before we go any further, I want a big shout out to the Automatic Transmission Rebuilders Association. They make our Clash of the Classics possible. If you've got a transmission problem, you even think you have a transmission concern, we say it every week. You've got that red dot in the driveway. You might feel a strange slip. You might hear a strange noise in the trans. Don't leave it in the hands of someone who may not be competent, may not be qualified, may not be certified. Always search out atra.com. There you'll find a large number of service providers coast to coast that are ready, willing, and able to help you with any transmission problem you might have. All right, let's roll right now into another cool car for 1961, one that I like a whole bunch. It's going to be a difficult battle for me. 1961 Pontiac Ventura 389 small block. 3 2-barrel carburetors, so it had the 6-pack up on top. Borg-Warner 4-speed manual transmission. This car really, unbelievable. Wheelbase was the same as the 409 Chevy Impala, rolling right at about 119 inches, about 3,685 pounds. The price on this car, just a stitch more than the Impala, running in right at about $3,200. Again, engine size 389 cubic inch displacement. The fuel system, 3 2-barrel carburetors. Here's the thing. Horsepower running in right at about 348 ponies, 430 pound-feet of torque, 0 to 60 in 8.2 seconds with about a 15.5 second quarter-mile time. That in itself is impressive, but when you look at the interior, and for you YouTube viewers, get on, have a look closely. In fact, Chris, let's display a couple of images of the interior here with the bucket seats, the manual transmission. This thing really had kind of a fighter jet feel for 1961. really a sharp looking car. I mean, of the two cars, aesthetically, I definitely think I like the Ventura.
Well, according to the CPI inflation calculator, $300 in 1961 has the same buying power of approximately $2,512 as of March 2018.
That would seem right. Okay.
Yeah, that seems so. Let's put it in today's terms. That's $2,500 more for less power. You know?
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
However, that being said, I do like the front end. And I got to say, being born and for the most part raised in this city, Ventura.
In Ventura, yeah.
Pontiac Ventura.
Gotta
hitting
go
it out of the park.
Yeah, I 100% agree. But I just like the overall look of the car. The Pontiac split grille that was, pretty prevalent for those days. It was their trademark. It stayed all the way through 1961. I think the Bonneville Luxury and Catalina other models came together with the Ventura Sport Coupe here. Seems like that 389 definitely all business. Everything about the car, GM's, had kind of like a graceful bubble top kind of shape. To me, really came together nicely. I think that most people would have to agree that this definitely, of these two cars, I'm going to go out right now. I'm going to say I like the Pontiac Ventura. Seems like you do as well, better than for a lot of reasons. You talked about a couple of the reasons why you don't like that.
It kind of reminds me of the 2016 election. It's not so much that I like one more, I just like one less.
Yes. Yeah.
And I feel like that's how a lot of people voted that year.
Well, unfortunately, we can get into that in our podcast. But yeah, these two cars, when you look at them closely side by side, you can see a lot of similarities of these two vehicles. I think I'm going to go with this Pontiac Ventura 389 with these triple carburetors up on top, the six pack, the three deuces. That to me is really cool. We get a chance to see this car occasionally at one of the car shows that we frequent every year. I always enjoy seeing those guys. Always a ton of fun. We like the Pontiac Ventura. We need you folks to chime in here on our YouTube channel, either on our Facebook page or our website. Let us know which car you like best. It says Horsepower Front Hours, Clash of the Classics. Let us know which car you like best. Again, big thanks to the Automatic Transmission Rebuilders Association. Each and every week, they make our Clash battles possible. Big thanks to them. We'll see you next week.